where they say that importer is a person who owns or who claims to be the owner of the goods at the time of crossing the custom frontier. In other words, I may have imported or I may have purchased, as I gave an example, but if I give it to somebody else before I cross the custom frontier, he will be the importer and he will have to pay the custom duty and not I. Why? Because my transaction with him is in another country and not in India. Though physically the airport located is in state, but by fiction of the law, it is treated as a territory outside the country. Similarly, also going, when the passenger goes to the duty-free shop, he purchases, no tax is payable because he goes out the country immediately. So it is export or import. Both ways, the transactions are to be treated as taking place outside the territory of India. With that analogy, if you apply the same analogy with the ship, because when you send the ship stores, shipping bill is issued as evidence of export, and no material can cross the customs and particular loaded in the ship without the permission of the custom authorities. So be it. Whenever the goods go to the midstream, it will be treated as beyond the custom frontier of India, and therefore it will be treated as goods exported. Now you will have to apply your mind in this way. Can we claim set off of the taxes paid for the material purchased locally or payment of tax and which I have sold to midstream ship? Apply your mind. I think it should be available, but it's a matter which will be decided in future. But to me, it is very clear that you can get the import tax credit also. That takes me to the provisions of the CST Act. Now, what is CST? Now, CST Act was formulated, what you call incorporated by the Parliament after the problems arose in Article 286 explanation. Then it was explanation was there. And what is the explanation? Explanation says that when the goods are delivered for consumption, the tax was paid. And therefore, those of you who were practicing earlier know that near VT there was one hotel where the authorities from West Bengal and Tamil Nadu used to come and stay and issue notices to local persons who have sold the goods to say Tamil Nadu or West Bengal people, and they used to come and collect the tax. So therefore same transaction was being taxed by more than one authorities, more than one state. And therefore in 1956 the constitution was amended and explanation was completely deleted and Article 286 was amended to the extent that you have the restriction of the state levy of tax, state power of levying tax under Article 286 and give power to the Parliament to frame law to determine as to when a transaction can be said to taking place in the course of interstate trade or commerce or where it takes place for in course of import or in course of export. One minute. I was not sure whether I will be able to speak today, because day before yesterday I was not in a position to speak at all. Then my daughter-in-law said that, how will you speak? I said, God is there, why bother about it? There are things I have to see. Anyway, yes, please. Now, if you read section 5.1 or 5.2, the wording used are 1. which occasions the import or export. The transaction which occasions the import or export. Now in the given case which I give, the transaction which commences with the order from the ship at Ceylon by wireless, which offer I give quotation, and then that's called offer and acceptance, transaction agreement to sale complete. Then pursuant to that transaction, goods moved from Bombay to midstream. So therefore, one can easily say that this transaction occasioned the movement of goods from territory of India to other place. But let me again caution that in Narang Hotels case, and they have followed Burma Shell, 11 STC. Now, if you see 11 STC Burma Shell, it interpreted Article 286 as it then prevailed prior to amendment in 1956. And then the question was, what do you mean by export? And under the Custom Act, they relied on the definition of the term export in the Custom Act. Now in the Custom Act, export is defined as the export of the goods from this country to another place or to another country, another territory of another country. Now, when Central Sales Tax Act was enacted, they did not provide for only export. It speaks of in the course of export and in the course of import. Therefore, blindly you cannot incorporate the definition of Custom Act, because for the purpose of Central Sales Tax Act, law says that only for two purposes you have to refer to Custom Act, not for anything else. And course can begin much before the actual crossing of the custom frontier. Course of import or export begins much earlier. It begins in the given example when I made the purchases on the basis of the agreement with the ship master. That is the course of export commences. It occasions the export. And therefore, it is covered by straight away section 5(1). May it be, but so not 5(1), 5(2). But the fallacy lies with the unfortunate parties that nobody pointed out to this position. In Narang Hotel also, actually, what has happened? There, the Taj International, food was supplied at the airport. Before this airplane started its journey. Then the court said that look, you have already handed over the material at the airport. But the fact that the definition of export in the Custom Act cannot be considered for the purpose of this transaction was not considered. And therefore the whole act has to be considered afresh as far as this controversy is concerned. Now, the territory, I come to the coastal. What is the authority of coastal state? Coastal state can't go beyond the landmass beyond that. Now, Custom Act jurisdiction under the CST Act only restricted to two definitions: custom station and custom authorities. These are the two things only for which the CST allows reference to the Custom Act. It is not legislation by incorporation and legislation by reference. But reference is only for the purpose of custom station and custom authorities, nothing else. But when the goods cross the custom it is covered by Custom Act, not by the CST. Therefore, one has to determine on the basis of custom provisions as to when can you say that the goods have crossed the custom limit. And that is why the Parliament framed the principle. What is Section 5? Section 5 speaks of principles to determine as to when a transaction can be said to be sale in the course of import or sale in the course of export. 5.2, 5.3, course of export. Now, there is world of difference between export and in the course of export. This distinction has still to be recognized by any of the so far judgment law so far. Now, only one judgment which I would like to refer, and that is, they say, 16 STC 62 Madras High Court. They have said that the state cannot go beyond the water, beyond the land mass. Now, I come to the recent events wherein Gujarat High Court, and that Gujarat High Court judgment has been now reported in 84 STC page 1. It was argued when I was present there. I heard P. Chidambaram, and what has happened? That was a case where gas was being taken out of Bombay High area, like that, and then it was being transmitted to GAIL by pipes laid under the water. And in the middle of the sea, there was key section was added, that one will go to the GAIL, another will go to the other refinery. Now the question arose as to nature of the transaction. Whether it was against the Gujarat, whether Gujarat can levy tax on this transaction or with GAIL. And they said that the contract was for sweetened gas and not the sour gas. And that refining it was done at Hazira. The state on that basis stated that look, the contract is for sweetened gas and not the gas coming out of the seabed. And therefore the tax is leviable. The High Court stated that whether it is sweetened or sour, gas remains gas. And therefore the transfer of property takes place at the T section under the sea. And therefore Mr. Chidambaram succeeded in that before the Gujarat High Court, that Gujarat cannot tax it, it is only outside the state of Gujarat. This is very illuminating judgment. This Harshaben Diwani is really a very intelligent judge, very senior judge, and I had the privilege of appearing against her in one of our other matters also. It's very brilliant, just like our Sujata Manohar. I remember Sujata when I argued that matter with Harsha Diwani. So this is how the judgment is. BG Exploration and Production India Limited, 84 BST, page 1. And then the one which is recently only, yesterday only I could download, is the case of Bombay High Court. Now Bombay High Court, as I said, when I gave the subject to Mr. President, this case was being argued. It was heard on 15 July 2015. The judgment was reserved. And judgment came to be pronounced on 19 October 2015, that is the day before yesterday. And it was uploaded in the evening, and I could get it It is a 90-page judgment. I have not been able to go through entirely, but I have gone through it, and I have talked to the advocate who argued it matter also yesterday. They have gone by what is known as nexus theory. Nexus theory means any part of the transaction, if it takes place within the territory of the state, tax can be levied. Now, this was again a case where gas was being supplied to at the order of the ship required, similar to the stores, ship stores. But the court said that look, your contract is within the state of Maharashtra. Your appropriation of goods also is in the state of Maharashtra, and therefore Maharashtra can levy tax. With respect to the Bombay High Court, I may say that nexus theory was developed on the basis of explanation appended to the Article 286 as it then stood, that is 11 STC and 15 STC during those days. Thereafter, the Central Citizens Act came in, and where the crossing of frontier of India, section 2AB, was inserted for the first time sometime in 1957. So that nexus theory doesn't have application, and therefore, let us see in future, one of my matter is coming up again. So I am going to argue before the Bombay High Court again. But let us see in future. But let me only say and conclude by saying that you all, apart from MBAT Act, please read all other allied laws also. You know, that reminds me, one of the friends from our own association wanted to know the provisions of birth contract. He says, how to levy tax on birth contract. So I told him, you read 73 STC 370, 88 STC 204. These two will be sufficient for you. Surprising to me, he said, sir, where will it be available? I said, you come to my house and I'll give you. This is the position of our members. This is a fact which I am telling you. I cannot tell anywhere else, but here I want to tell you that this is the position of our own people. That's why I say that you must be up to date, update your knowledge. How could I get this judgment? Day before yesterday, I could get it today. I should be up to date. And why did I took it? Because I am also connected with that. And I am taking interest. Similarly, you all should take interest in reading the books other than VAT Act only, and then you will find amazing knowledge, very much knowledge, and you will be on the top. Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of sharing something which has not been considered by anybody. Let me tell you, it's a very, very virgin area where if I am successful, it will be a great satisfaction for me. Thank you very much.
Two things. One is the citation of the Bombay High Court. 19th of October. What is the name of that case?
Raj Shipping. Raj Shipping versus State of Maharashtra.
And another thing, sir. I apologize, I was a little late. Only thing is, all these decisions were in respect of supplies to Bombay High or supplies to a ship which is beyond 12 nautical miles.
No. They are all within the territorial waters.
Territorial water.
Within territorial water, within 12 nautical miles.
Now let us say Bombay High platform.
It is beyond that.
Bombay High platform. If I were to execute a works contract of, let us say, a repair,
Yeah.
or cook and serve at the Bombay High platform.
They are all transactions beyond the custom frontier, and they are the state of Maharashtra cannot limit.
Sir, any citation? I also subscribe to your, humbly submitted. I would accept your
Then, if there is no citation, you can make the citation.
All right, thanks a lot.
I don't look at the citation. I go by the principle of law.
Sir, it will help at the
If
first
there is no
appellate.
law, we can make the law.
So I have a question about.
1 minute. One person at a time. Yeah, come.
Yeah, you spoke about the sales happening beyond custom frontier. What is the nature of the transaction when it happens when the goods are lying in the bonded warehouse and still not?
Same thing, I said that warehouse also is under the custom control, and therefore it is outside the territory.
One more question. When a dealer gives certain machinery on hire to be placed on a platform beyond 12 nautical miles, and that machinery is given on hire and which comes back after 3 months, and during that 3 months if he receives rental on that, would that still be considered?
Same principle applies, whether it is sale or dim sale. It's the same principle.
So such machinery can be taken on hire or
Of course, all transactions beyond custom frontier are beyond the jurisdiction of the
and
state.
still same machinery can be purchased or export as a hire.
So practical problem which the dealer generally faces when the material is supplied to the ONGC platform beyond 12 nautical miles is that the material which we supply to ONGC beyond 12 nautical miles, that material is taken by ONGC by themselves. What we do
When you give the delivery, if you give the delivery in the state of Maharashtra before it causes a custom frontier, then it's local. It all depends on how you plan it.
basically there are some laws or there are some rules of the ONGC because of which we cannot take on our own the material to the
You are right,
platform.
but then you are delivering where? Because the transaction of sale is complete with the transfer of property to the title goods. When the title to the goods is transferred within the state of Maharashtra, then you have no control.
One more.
Bolo.
It's taken from the port authorities.
Adi?
It's taken in a port.
Mike.
When we say send a technician or whoever, concerned person, to pick up the material from the port authorities, near the dock.
Then what authority is what?
Means it has to pick up those material from the port, or Navashah port.
Now, Shiva, when custom cross gaya position, that same principle applies.
Sir, you have made a very fine difference. Just export and course. How far we can go back? Kindly explain that. Course,
From 1956.
where it can be said,
From the time when this 2AB was inserted. 1956. 2AB was inserted. If it is within limitation of rectification.
No. I'm actually when the course of export can be said. Backward movement I'm referring to. Means, say, actual voyage of the ship, that definitely a course has started. But before that, several things are happening. Several things are taking place. These things are happening definitely within the area of custom station. So how far you can take this event back? When,
That means what I am not
from, yeah, when the course can be said to have been actually started, commenced.
Course begins with the item crossing the custom frontier of the port, and it ends with the clearance at the other country or other place. That is called course. But course also, if it is an interlink, inextricable link is established, take for example that I got the order and then I made the purchases. In Mexico, link is established, then also course can be done. Only thing, it all depends on your documentation. If properly, if you are in a position to show that this transaction occasion the important. What is to be required is documentation proper.
There was query regarding ONGC. So I have an officer because I was assessing authority of ONGC. So there one thing
You are assessing authority, I know it.
No, because the query was related to ONGC, I know certain.
I had a fight also with you.
Sir, I know certain facts which will enlighten everybody. See, sir, now those people who are taking goods to offshore platforms, there normally don't have any other transportation. So there are ONGC ships, smaller ships. On those, the goods are actually boarded, goods are taken to there.
No, in those ports.
So here, actually,
That's here. I know it.
like my point is something.
Those transactions, the agreement itself says that it will be transported to the platform through ONGC trucks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know it.
No, my point is, even if the goods are, sir, even if the goods are delivered at Nhava Sheva, actually the transfer of property doesn't happen there. Say in most of the cases where the works contract is executed, the transfer of property takes place when the goods are incorporated in the works.
Just hear me. There are two different.
Simply because ONGC provides the facility of transportation.
See, the transaction, first of all, whether it is a sale or a work contract, that has to be determined. Because sale will be complete when you give the delivery here. But when the work contract, you are taking the goods for doing the work there. So there the transfer of property takes place there and not here.
No, in earlier case, no, there was example was cited that the food is cooked there. And
Yeah.
In that case, the transfer of actually the transfer of property in the cereals was there, oils, etc.
All
never
there.
takes place here.
No.
Yeah.
They transship through ONGC smaller boats to the platform. They then cook there, and then after cooking they serve also to the people. I know those contract
So
canteen contractors.
transfer of property doesn't take place in those very goods at Nhava Sheva.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter. There is no specific
Still these
transfer of
goods
property
belong
because
to the owner only, original
no,
owner
this is the
or
case.
contractor.
Right? This is the case of deep sale of supply of food.
But that happens there.
Yeah. So no tax.
Whether it is applicable, the tax will be applicable.
That will not be applicable at all.
No tax.
That tax will not be applicable at
Not
all.
applicable. Good that you are now assistant.
That is the main
I was disabled. Because I was doing the law.
Don't tell me now. Don't tell me that.
Sir, we have discussed about the territory of the state qua the land. What about sky? So we have discussed the territory of the state qua the land, or it extends to the land. Now what about the sky? Why I am asking this question? Because nowadays, the food and the goods are sold by the airline agency in the sky. When the plane is flying in the sky, they are selling the goods and selling the food.
Yeah.
So two territories.
Space, outer space.
Yeah.
Outer space also belongs to union.
Outer space over the state also.
Yes.
Okay.
Over the state. Yes.
So one
Under
query,
and over both.
one query.
Whatever there are skymark. See, the airlines are selling the material. When the plane is on high, say 3,000, 4,000. They cannot be taxed.
So one query regarding, you said importer is the person who is owner of the goods at the time when goods comes in India. Is there?
No. Till it crosses the custom frontier of India,
Correct.
whoever holds the goods or whoever owns the goods is an importer.
Is there any direct provision In that respect, under the Customs Act, can you, which section?
Yes, yes, I will. Importer, it is defined under section 226. Importer in relation to any goods at any time between their importation, between their importation and the time when they are cleared for home consumption, includes an owner or a person who holds the goods, is the importer. It is direct application. क्या मैं म्यूजिक चलता है?
Thank you, PC sir. Today, PC sir has dealt with Maritime Act. I think it is the first time that Speaker has dealt with this maritime provisions thoroughly. Subsequently, relevant provision of the Constitution, CST Act, case law. Lastly, he has given a very important tip that well student, they should also know the other rather allied laws and their provisions thoroughly. What to say about the PC sir? I can say which I have been saying, and now today also I will say, he is the Maharshi of Service law. Now I request our Secretary for to make certain announcement and propose a vote of thanks.
PC Joshi sir, President Sachiv Sahib, Vice President Don Sahib, dignitaries on the dais and of the dais. Before performing the pleasant task of proposing the vote of thanks, there are few announcements. There are celebration of Foundation Day will take place on 17th of November 15 at room number 104. That means here only. Then third study circle meeting will be held on 15th November 2015 at 1:30 p.m. 5th November 2015 at 1:30 p.m. Venue is the same. And subject is 122 Constitutional Amendment Bill 2014. Its necessity, usefulness and impact on proposed GST. Speaker is Advocate Ratan Samant. Then intensive study course has been started. Please enroll for the same. Felicitation of past presidents of CTC, including our PC sir, on 23rd October 2015 at 6 p.m. Place at IMC 4th floor, Churchgate. A seminar on TaxCon 15 will be held on 27th and 28th November 2015 at BKC Bandra, CA Institute Hall. Please enroll for the same. Enrollments are available on our website. Coming to the vote of thanks, in spite of busy schedule, Joshi sir has accepted our request for delivering his lecture on the subject. Friends, Joshi sir has undoubted mastery on the sales tax laws. We can say he is a ready reckoner, and for us from last 30 to 40 years. Sir, you are valuable asset of our association. Today also, he has explained provisions of ICs inward and outwards in simple and useful language, which will be helpful in our day-to-day practice. On behalf of the association, I request you all to appreciate the same with loud applause. Last but not least, thank you all for patient hearing and taking interactive part in the discussion. Thank you very much. Please rise for the national anthem.
Friends, one thing that as we have announced that CTC is going to